Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies, and I'm coming with you with an atrocious miniature. It is the ugliest. It is the ugliest miniature that I think has ever been created from any company ever. But with the new Orcs and Goblins Arcane Journal being released today, I thought it would be a good time to get this model painted up, as it's been in my backlog for a long time. That is, of course, the Troll Hag. She is an epic, disgusting miniature that can now lead an entire army of trolls using the Arcane Journal, and I think that's pretty cool. She's a wizard, she's a pretty decent fighter, she supports and enhances the rest of the trolls around her. I'm a big fan. I just need to get more actual trolls painted up to support her in a game. Now, before I get into painting this beast, I'm just going to take 1 second to thank all of my existing patrons and all the people out there that support me in every single way. If you guys would like to support the channel, like to help me grow further and further, bigger and bigger, crazier projects, then there's a couple of different ways you can do that. Once again, you can, of course, sign up to my Patreon. I now do daily vlogs, a couple minutes a piece, every single day, Monday to Friday, giving you guys a hint as to what I've been doing for the day, a little bit of chatter, and to keep you guys involved in kind of like the back office or back studio running of this thing. You guys can give your input and help guide me to better results. If you're interested in buying any of the Games Workshop products out there and you live in England, I do have an Element Games link down below. Buying from Element Games will of course save you a bunch of money, and I will get a little bit of a kickback as well, so it's a win-win for both of us. Like I said, it's for the English website only, so if you are in England, you want to support me, and you're going to be buying this stuff anyway, why not use my link from Element Games, save yourself some money. Okay guys, without further ado, let's jump in and get this Troll Hag painted. Okay, this is the Troll Hag in all her glory. This is the one I constructed a couple of years ago to be used in my Age of Sigmar army when I was basically going through a phase of getting all of the fantasy miniature monsters I could from Forgeworld and getting them painted up. Now, obviously with the release of the Old World, some of these monsters are now being kind of carved up and put back onto their correct bases, which is of course squares and rectangles, to be used in the rank and file game of the Old World, and this one is no exception. Obviously she was constructed, but there was an accident which unfortunately meant that she fell off a table and her fins got smashed off her back. It was a very sad time, and I will endeavor to repair those in this video. Whether I show much of it on screen, I don't know. I plan on just using UV curing resin and the UV torch from Green Stuff World and just basically like filling in the gaps and hardening it as I go and seeing if that works. Now, the Troll Hag is a very interesting character for the new Arcane Journal for the Orcs and Goblins. It's basically a character model to be used when you're taking a troll army. A little bit of blurb here in the Arcane Journal I want to share with you guys to give you guys an idea of what a Troll Hag is. So, giant river troll hags are loathsome creatures, far larger and more dangerous than their kin. The sight of one shambling from the water in pursuit of her prey, her massive bulk glistening with pungent swamp slime, is truly terrifying. Yet, troll hags are also, and quite inexplicably, filled with powerful motherly instincts that give rise to strange acts of affection towards their enemies in the heat of battle. It is not unheard of for a troll hag to gather enemy warriors and monsters alike into powerful embrace, or to attempt to discipline those that raise arms against her as if they were nothing more than exuberant children. Unfortunately, such displays of affection from a creature so large and clumsy often prove fatal. So she has a very funny set of rules. I'm going to go through them a little bit in this video because I think it's more interesting. You can see what I'm painting on the screen, and of course I will go through each paint as I'm going through, but I think sharing a little bit more information on what a Troll Hag is and how she is used in your army will be a little bit more interesting. So she starts at a basis 235 points for her stat line. She, on paper, when you just look at her stat line, she doesn't seem to be a particular powerhouse when it comes to combat. She has 3 attacks, a weapon skill 2 at strength 6. There's no other minuses or anything like that, which is very poor for a model like this. She is a level 2 wizard and has access to troll magic. So an entirely unique lore of magic has been included with this book for the use with troll armies, which I think is pretty cool. Now, there is another way to use her for attacking, and it's called Motherly Love. So instead of attacking normally during the combat phase, a Troll Hag may choose to make a Motherly Love attack To do so, nominate an enemy unit that the Troll Hag is engaged in combat with to be the target of this attack, and roll on the motherly love table below to determine what the Troll Hag does. I love this. So the first roll, it's basically a D3 table, is Smother. So Smother is the Troll Hag throws her massive arms around the foe in a terrible embrace. You place a large 5-inch blast template so that its center of the hole is directly over the center of the target unit. Any model, friend or foe, but not including this model, whose base lies underneath the template risks being hit and suffers a single hit using the strength characteristic of this model with an AP of -2. That is absolutely insane. You could literally smash her into a giant block of infantry. If you rolled a 1 or a 2, a 5-inch template is going on top of the unit. Everything is being hit at a strength of 6 with a -2 armor. She's gonna wipe out 10, 12 models with that. It's insane. Maybe it's a bit of an exaggeration, obviously, the 5-inch template and rolling for partials and stuff like that, but a good number, enough to cancel out the static combat res of any normal unit. You know, your 2-3 ranks, your close order, your banner, your 4-5. I think she will definitely make up those points, meaning that all the rest of the wounds or fighting is gonna swing the combat in her favor. If you roll a 3 or a 4 on the table, the result is called Mother. The Troll Hag chastises her foe as if they were a wayward offspring. Nominate a single model in the fighting rank to be the target unit of this attack. The model is hit with D3 + 1 wounds with no armor or regeneration saves permitted. Word saves can be attempted normally. So let's check that again. What is the actual thing? Can you just pick a character out of that unit and smother it? Nominate a single model in the fighting rank of a target unit. I don't know whether that means you can pick a character that's in the fighting rank of that unit or something. I wonder if they have different rules so they can't be targeted for certain reasons, but having said that, you know, you can pick up and crush other things or get rid of banner bearers or anything like that. And then the other one, the other result is a 5 or a 6, and it's called Mither. M-I-T-H-E-R. I don't know how to say this word. I don't particularly know what this word means. Mither? Mither? I don't know. If anyone knows what Mither means, please do help me and put it in the comments below. The Troll Hag bombards the enemy with a tirade of slaps and a torrent of unintelligible, trollish invective. The target unit suffers D6 + 1 hits, each using the strength characteristics of this model with no armor saves permitted. Ward saves, regeneration saves can be attempted as normal. In addition, so shocked is the target unit that until the end of the turn it suffers a -1 modifier to its leadership characteristic. I think that's really funny. That's a really great combat table. It is unfortunately still a little bit random. You could take this miniature, 235 points. I think you would make her a level 2 wizard for an extra 35 points, bringing her up to 270. And if you're attacking a unit, like, you know, you smash yourself in, like I said in the previous thing, if you want to put a large blast, you're trying to mitigate the combat resolution of a unit, the static combat resolution of normal units. They have 2 ranks, a banner, close order, so they go 4 or 5 points without any attacks being swung. So if she suddenly just rolls a 3 or a 4 on the table, then you've only done 1 damage. You only killed 1 thing, so that's kind of worrying. Now, she does have D6 stomp attacks as well. So D6 stomps at her strength of 6 is also really good. Very swingy once again. But if you roll the smother on the table and you kill 5 or 6 things and you get lucky with a stomp, you could win a combat by 5 or 6, and all of a sudden it's not very good for your opponent, especially because she causes terror. She is unbreakable as well, which is really fantastic. It means she's not going to go anywhere out of combat until she is dead. And she does, of course, have a bunch of different rules for being included in a troll army. So any army made using the Orcs and Goblins tribes grand army composition list that includes 1 or more troll mobs may include 0 to 1 troll hags as a rare choice. So if you're playing any Orcs and Goblins army and you wish to include this miniature in your army, all you have to do is take a troll mob. Once you take a troll mob, it unlocks you to take this miniature as a rare choice. Obviously, you can't just take the troll army that is included with this particular thing. It's called the Troll Horde, and obviously you can have a Troll Hag as a character, and you can have as many Troll Hags as you can in your points. There's no limitation for them whatsoever, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm still throwing on base coats on this miniature at this point. As you can see, I used Plague Bear Flesh and Darren Turquoise and a few other colors to try and block it in. And I was still a little bit nervous about the result of this thing. There's a reason that I kind of went unpainted for many years. Not only the disheartening thing of when I accidentally dropped her, I was actually putting a jumper on, and as I kind of pulled it down over the back of myself, it caught the model off the table, and I just pulled it off the table. And of course she had to land on her fins and break them all, which of course disheartened me, made me not want to paint her. I put her away for so long. Stupid thing to do. But I guess now I get to paint her up for this. I will be doing something in a moment which potentially nearly ruined the model. I don't know what I was thinking. I used a Berserker Bloodshade, I think it was, a Rage Shade. Which one was it? It's the Berserker Bloodshade. And it was, yeah, I don't know whether it was just a little bit old, whether the medium had kind of, I don't know, evaporated. It was very thick. It was just a little bit shiny. I applied it all over the miniature, and honestly, when that shade had dried, I thought I'd ruined the whole piece. I was nearly going to be like, you know what? I don't think this is salvageable. I might have to find something else to do for this video tomorrow, and I might have to just get rid of this model or strip it or whatever. But in the end, I decided to go, you know what? No. Let me break out some good old-fashioned Duncan Too Thin Coats paints. Let's get a nice mid-tone and highlight green from the Triad and see if I can fix the problem. As you can see, it does look really weird. What it looks like is I put an oil wash all over it that I can't wipe off. It's in a very, very ugly stage, and I really was panic mode at this point. It doesn't look like it doesn't suit her. She definitely looks like a troll hag, you know, a swamp monster. But I definitely didn't like it. I definitely wanted to brighten her up. So Goblinoid Green was the first coat of green from Too Thin Coats. And as you can see, I got a nice fine pointed brush. And I just started layering up the model properly. Normally my videos are all about showing you guys quick, easy and accessible ways to paint miniatures. And you can of course do that with this miniature, but it take away the, I guess, the quickness. Like this stage here of me with a fine pointed brush layering up this model. And I did 2 coats. I did this color and then I jumped up to the next tone as well for a highlight. I'd say it took about 3 hours. It was painful, especially because I did that stupid thing, which I've always said is a terrible way to paint. At least I feel it's a terrible way to paint. It's that I started with the most interesting part of the model. I was excited to layer up her face. It's such an easy thing to do. You know, it's going to get nice results. All the details are so finely defined on it. But as soon as that was done, and then I was kind of going my way over bulky shoulders and down like a boring back and lots of leg and lots of big huge arms, which just aren't very exciting or interesting to paint, and that was silly. I should have started at the feet and kind of worked my way backwards. But I think the main reason I broke my cardinal rule is I needed to see if it was possible to save it before I decided to go further. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm going to go with the face first, see what this looks like after the layering job, and see if it's going to be worth my time and effort trying to fix it. And I think it got to about this point and I was like, okay, this could work. I'm kind of happy with this so far. This was like an hour later. She looks grim. She looks even more like a swamp monster than before. I'm going to finish layering off the torso, and then I'm going to pull it up to an even brighter tone of green and finish highlighting it with that. Will it work? Who knows? It should work, right? Right. So Troll Snot Green, I think, is a suitable tone to use from the Too Thin Coats range. It's actually from the Wave 2 set of paints. They didn't have really natural green tones in Wave 1, which was a little bit annoying. Obviously, the paint range grows with each new wave. They're bringing out Wave 3 now, and they can't give you everything you want. So I was very happy to see this really naturally toned set of greens in Wave 2, and that's what I used. So I'm going in, like I said, with the Troll Snot Green for the final highlight on her skin. Very much going with that kind of feathering technique, nice bright lines. And I was really happy with the result. As soon as I started to see it, I was like, okay, we're fine. We didn't wreck the model. It works. The recesses are all dark and greeny and reddy and shaded. It looks like it works. I was pleased. I could gladly continue painting her. I don't know whether a full troll army is in my future, at least not intentionally. I know I want to collect all of the old metal trolls. I have some of the rock trolls, but I don't have common trolls, and I don't have the old river trolls. And I definitely want to get, I think, 6 of each of those. I would love to see a big squad of 6 of each of those types of troll. And then jump over and take 6 of the 2 new river trolls, 6 of the new rock trolls. I just think seeing all those different sculpts of troll on the table would look immense. And it's it's more of a collection thing for me for this particular thing. I don't really have any reason to put them on a table and play a game with. I'm sure if I got all those models painted, I would definitely give it a try. But that's not the driving factor for me. Okay, going into Jade Green, I'm going to use this across all those scales. I am glad I went for such a diverse and different color for the scales as opposed to like the blubbery skin. Otherwise, I think the model would have very much been too drab and it would have been just all green. It would have been awful. She hasn't got any like rags hanging off her that I can introduce a new color with. Obviously, the net is quite an interesting thing, but the net is a nightmare as a piece to paint. But I decided to go for it. It was just old swampy stuff. So I did add color. There's an octopus in there. There's some old broken armor in there. There's kind of stone weights in there for keeping the net down. And I did hit them with most of that. But then I just hit it with a green shade at the end for, you know, making it look kind of grim and old. And like it was a net that was dragged through the swamp to collect junk. So I think it worked. Ghoul Green was used as the final highlight on the scales. Once again, making those colors pop a little bit more. I don't know why I said collars there instead of colors, but you know, it's been a very long day. It's currently 9:25 Friday evening. This video is due out tomorrow morning, so it was supposed to be finished around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it definitely took a little bit longer than expected. I think the layering of that green skin is definitely what took up more of my time than expected. Once I finished the base, I had the skin layered up and the scale layered up. I was getting very happy. I knew it was kind of close to the finish line, and all I had to do was start to hit some extra details. So I got some bright yellows, and then I even mixed the bright yellow with a bit of bone color to make it more pallid, and then painted the eyes. I don't really know what color troll eyes are meant to be. I'd imagine there'd be like a sickly yellow, but even if you take away the idea of what color they are, I don't know what the pupils are like. I have this habit of doing more like cat eyes on a lot of things, and just because they're very easy to paint. Bit of Screamer Pink for the inside of the mouth. There's not a lot of inside of the mouth on display. Usually I go up to pink horror with this. I do it on all my squigs and stuff like that where you can see a lot of gums and it's really bright and vibrant. I don't think the bright and vibrant gums would like sit well next to that pallid horrible skin. Screaming Skull was then used as a quick highlight on all the teeth, and I say all the teeth. I think she needed a couple of trips to the dentist that she avoided because she's only got about 3 teeth left in her poor head. So she's been munching on too many words as originals in her old age, I think. I don't know. And then here's me going in with the black. So I did decide to go for like a cat eye, but then I did go around the eye as well and basically gave it a bit of eyeliner. Not really the intention for the eyeliner look, but I just wanted to close in around with the yellow eye, make it look a little bit more sinister. With the net, as you saw, I hit it with Skeleton Horde earlier on, and you could spend 2 days painting this net, but I think it would be bright and gaudy and distracting if I put too much time and effort into it. So I did some very simple things, like I said earlier in the video. I very carefully followed around and tried to find all the metallic things, all the old shields and all the old breastplates and stuff that are in there, hit them with the silver. Then I noticed there's an octopus in there, so I grabbed a nice bright and vibrant turquoise contrast color, and I very carefully went around and found all of the squid or octopus or whatever it is and hit it with that blue, that being the only kind of bright color that's going to be in the model. You can see how much of the octopus is actually in there if you pay attention. After that, I got some Basilicanum Grey and I hit it with all the stone weights that are used to hold the net down. Very quick, very simple, very easy. The majority of it is kind of bone anyway, so the Skeleton Horde contrast that I put over the top did most of the work for me. After that, I got an Athonian camo shade, a green shade, dark murky green, and I painted that over the entire net then. Every single part of it got hit with that, because there isn't going to be pristine gleaming breastplates coming out of the swamp water. You know, all the parts are going to be covered by green slime, and this is the green slimy look that I went for. Really subtle, really simple, but I think it looks great. And obviously, like I said, I did not want to detract from how she looked, how the Troll Hag herself looked. People at the start of this video may thought I was crazy, the fact that I just sawed this piece off, but it would have been in my way immensely. Obviously I could have just not glued the hand on, but I wanted the hand on the model so I could blend it in properly and paint it as I was painting all the other bits. And gluing it back on was as easy as that. You can't even see the seam. I didn't have to do anything else with it. And with that glued back on, all the bits done, I have a finished Troll Hag miniature. Even if I don't decide to do a troll army, I definitely will play a game or two with her on the tabletop. Feed her into my night goblins maybe, and see what happens there. Here's a couple of grim swamp-like photos. I think the darker tones in it, just to give you an idea of what she might look like on a tabletop. I think it looks awesome. And then we've got a couple of bright pictures to give you an idea of what she actually looks like. That's a face only a mother could love. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's obviously quite a bit different. I could have done 1,000,001 things for the Orc and Goblin book coming out, but I decided why not go with the Troll Hag, and I think it turned out fine. Okay guys, and there we have it, the Troll Hag from Forgeworld, and now of course for the new Arcane Journal for the Orcs and Goblins for the old world, that's a mouthful, is now painted up and ready for the tabletop. It was a interesting project painting this piece up. It has sat on my backlog for far too long. I'm actually pretty good with my Warhammer Forgeworld monsters. They're all pretty much painted now. This one just for some reason slipped through the cracks and fell behind. So now it is fully painted up and ready to be played with, which makes me very happy. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give the video a like. It does help push it out to more people. More people to see it, more people that subscribe, the bigger the channel grows, and so on and so forth. Mentioning subscribing, please do make sure you do subscribe to the channel. I will be giving away a Titan at the end of this year, depending on how many subscribers I reach. 65,000 gives me a Warhound to give away, 85,000 gives me a Reaver, and if we manage to somehow get to 100,000 subscribers this year, I will give away a Warlord Titan to one of you awesome people. All you need to do is subscribe. If you have any questions about today's video or any other videos, please do put it in the description below or in the comments below, and I will get back to each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. I'll see you in the next one.